G'day, boys and girls. Thursday evening. Spent, it's a terrible weather. Wet, cold, windy. But I still managed to get a few things done outside. I wanted to sort through some of the parts for the truck, like inner fenders and, stuff like that. Pick out a good set of running boards, or a decent set anyway. And I was looking through rear fenders and stuff as well. I did bring in a couple of inner fenders for the front. They need some cleanup, and one side needs a bit of repair. But the reason I brought it in is because I want to mock up one side, at least get one fender on the truck, and see how it sits on the ground. Because I haven't had this thing sitting on the ground since I put the wheels on it. It's been on those skates so I can move it around. So I know it's dropped quite a bit, I think. But until I drop it on the ground, I won't know for sure. And so yeah, I'm gonna mock up one side and check out the ride height, because I know it's gonna drop some more yet, because there's more weight going on the truck. Once you get all the sheet metal, the rad, bumper brackets, the bumper, the grill, the glass, interior, fluids, all that stuff, it's probably going to drop another inch from where it is right now. So we'll see how that looks. And I got a little bit of body work to take care of. I got to finish off the hood, which I started in the last video. It's almost there now. And I also have a bit of work to do on the driver's side front fender. So we'll get those two pieces finished and ready for primer. That'll be both front fenders and the hood. Maybe clean up the inner fenders, and excuse me, and yeah, I might even bring in a set of rear fenders. I'm not sure. We'll see how far I get. I still got to tackle those door gaps, but that's going to be a video by itself, because that's a shit show. When your gaps are tight on both sides of the door, that's a problem. So yeah, there's going to be some hacking and cutting and welding and stuff like that. But it is what it is. Can't leave gaps like that. It's terrible. So yeah, we might as well just get after it, man. All right, so here we go. Got to finish sanding on this, but I went ahead and mocked up this fender real quick. There's only like 3 bolts holding this whole thing together, and it's actually, fender should be underneath this, but so it's up about a ½ an inch. But it's on the ground, and it's not too shabby, man. I'm gonna say it drops 6 inches from stock, maybe a little bit more. Keep in mind too, those are just little 14-inch wheels. So we'll get a bit bigger rim and tire under there to fill up that wheelhouse. But and as well, like I said, there's going to be enough weight on there probably to drop it another inch. I measured off where my bumper is going to be. It's going to be about 10 inches, 9.5 inches off the ground. So not bad, So yeah, I'm digging it. I'm just going to leave it on there for now because it's out of the way and it won't get damaged. The other one is over there. I'm going to get that on the sawhorse right after I finished sanding the hood. So yeah, we'll get on the hood and finish her up. several thin coats, it's done, and it feels really good, smooth right out. So yeah, I'm happy with that. So that's ready for the final shot of epoxy primer, and I've got some sanding to do on this driver's side fender and a little bit of putty work still. So I'm gonna get after that. I'm not gonna bother filming it. You just saw me do a whole bunch of it on the hood. It's basically the same thing. So you know, it's my most favorite thing in the world, sanding. Ugh, I hate it, but necessary evil. And then there were a few little touch-ups I had to do on this fender, because it was on the floor with a whole bunch of other junk. You know, it got scratched up a couple of places, so I had to touch it up, but no biggie there. Anyway, so I'm going to get after this fender, and then once all that stuff's done, maybe we'll shoot the two fenders and the hood with the last coat of epoxy. Okay, so yeah, I just took a break from sanding to go have supper, and you know, I'm coming back out to the garage, and we're getting ice pellets, you know, off and on. So yeah, it's just above freezing. It's almost like hail, but it's just ice, and it accumulates and gets on everything. So I sat down, had my after supper coffee, and I was going through some of the comments on the last video, and especially on Facebook. And there's some guys that are, you know, pretty pissed off that I never showed actually bolting the doors onto the cab. You know, and so I got a lot of shit for it. So you know, not this video, but the next video, I'm going to spend some time on the doors and gapping and lining them up and all that stuff. So and you got to remember, these doors are going to be off and on there a couple times before I'm done. So yeah, there'll be plenty of opportunity to see the doors get bolted onto the truck. So it is what it is. I didn't think it was that big a deal, but yeah, geez, some guys are hostile. Whatever. Anyway, I'm getting back to sanding, and I'll come back when I'm ready to spray these fenders and hood. Okay, it's Saturday morning. I'm pretty much done with this fender. I just got a couple of little touch-ups left to do and sand them out, so I'll get on that shortly. Last night I was online, and I found a set of intake or exhaust manifolds, excuse me, locally and for a real reasonable price. So the guy told me to come pick them up this morning, so that's what I did. I went there. Of course, the guy wasn't there. Did some other running around, went back. The guy still wasn't there. And finally, I called him, and he got back to me, went up there and met him. And we never did find the ones he had advertised, but we did find these two. Went in about 10 different outbuildings looking for them. These are both lefts, and the only thing that makes them different from left and right is this bracket up here in the top. It's to accept the alternator or generator or whatever. But it doesn't matter. They're center dump, so you can flip them around, and you can just clean this off like I did on this one. I was going to use these style of exhaust manifolds on my Ford, but I cleaned this one all up and got rid of all that bulky crap here. And then when I grabbed the second one, one of the tabs was broken off, so I just put it away and forgot about it. Ended up using headers, but now that I found these, I can clean them up, and well, at least one of them, and I'm going to use these on the truck. So yeah, got them for a real good deal. The guy felt bad because he couldn't find the ones that he advertised. Who does that? Anyway, so I scored those. So I'm going to get back on the fenders, finish sanding, and we'll get the epoxy going. Okay, so don't mind all the racket. Got fans going and everything else. Anyway, this has all been sanded, and I've washed it down with the old wax and grease remover. I usually do that on every step. Always wash it down. This is the stuff I'm using. It's it's PPG. You know, and you mix it 1-to-1. That's epoxy primer and then the activator. And I like to thin it out just a little bit, reduce it with some reducer. just because it's very, very thick and doesn't spray out well. So I just thin it out just a touch. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna set up the camera and I'll start to spray, and once I get going on it, then I'll probably switch over to time lapse and finish it off. So just give me a minute here, I'll set up the camera. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and switch this over to time lapse. So there we go, 3 good coats of epoxy primer. I went with the black, and the reason I did that is I like to have the contrast. When I go to put on my regular high build primer, it's a light gray. So when you're block sanding, the high spots will come out black and you'll be able to see them that much better. So I just like to have the contrast. You know, they say 16 hours between or drying time before you can put anything else on top of this stuff. I like to go a little bit extra. So I usually wait 2-3 days, you know, before I put anything else on it. So I just let it sit there and cure and do its thing. Fenders are not bad. There's a couple little spots that are going to need minor touch-ups. Most of it will come out with block sanding. The hood, it came out really nice. It's super straight, looks good, and quite pleased with the hood for sure. So that's good. Another thing, you may have noticed, I'm just using a cheapo gun. I find that this epoxy stuff is hard on equipment, and I use it cheap. You know, I wait for them to come on sale at Princess for like 20 bucks, and I get a lot more use out of it than I would my good gravity feed guns. And the gravity feed guns seem to, I don't know, they seem to fail pretty quick using this epoxy stuff. So cheap gun's the way to go. You know, you get 6 months out of it, throw it away, go get another one. That's all. So yeah, so that's about it for those front end parts. I'm gonna let them sit for a bit, and you know, the next video we're gonna get after gapping these doors. So that should be fun. He said sarcastically. Okay, so there you go. 3 more pieces, that much closer to being finished. And you know, when I'm painting, I'm also having a beer, because a beer is my timer in between coats. So you gotta let that stuff flash off pretty good in between. Give it a good 20-25 minutes before putting on the next coat. So anyway, yeah, we got 3 coats on her. We're good to go there. I've got to do a few things on the inner fenders. I got a notch around the control arms, just a little bit. Need a little bit of clearance there, and strip those down and get those into epoxy primer as well and sealed up. Also got to fill a few holes where wires and stuff went through. But that's a little down the road. Like I said, next week we'll be getting the gaps on those doors. It's a big job because, quite frankly, it's a mess. The gaps are absolutely horrible. So yeah, we're gonna have to fix that up. New subscribers, got another good bunch last week. Thank you very much. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe. Yeah, you know, word's spreading around. I'm getting more and more views every week, and that's because of you guys spreading the word, telling your buddies, and sharing it with friends and whatnot. So yeah, it's all good. There's a couple guys out here, local guys. They get together every Sunday morning and you know, have coffee and watch the video. So, you know, old guys, it's better than sitting in a mall watching people walk by, I guess. Anyway, yeah, so just rolling right along, and just gonna keep on trucking, pardon the pun. Anyway, if you don't do anything else, get out in the garage and build something, man. Later, guys.